welcome to another episode on Yinka's Meals. My name is Yinka, as the Yinka's Meals, and today we are going to be looking at tips, that you need to know for the SI scholarship, and that's what this podcast is definitely going to be about today. Today I have with me an SI scholar, that is good. We're going to be asking some questions, and we're just going to find out things we need to know, things we need to do, things we shouldn't definitely be doing, so get ready. Before I start, I'm going to introduce him, or I should let him introduce himself that way. So welcome to Yinka's Meals. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is Aaron. I'm from Ghana.
Yo, representing.
Yeah, I'm studying at the University of Gothenburg in my final year.
Nice. And he's a nice SI scholar. You didn't say that part.
Yeah, SI scholar. A proud SI scholar.
You see? One of the questions I get a lot is, oh, Yinka, you're an SI scholar. I'm not. But I'm a scholarship holder, not just SI. And that's why I cannot fully go into details or tell you things to look out for. I think in February 10, right? February 10, the SI portal is going to be open. I'm going to put the link down, the website down, so you can just take a look at it. If you don't know the website address, the website, the SI portal is going to be open for people to apply. And since November last year, the forms were out already. So if you haven't started filling your forms, I don't know, it's only God that can help you at this point. Okay, now we're just gonna go into it. Well, before we go into sharing tips about the SI scholarship, when you were applying, did you know you were going to get it?
Yes, I had a confidence that I'm going to get it because I have been working on scholarship for previous years.
Okay.
So I was able to have some tips, and I was also able to know what it takes to win the scholarships.
Really?
Yeah. So
how many scholarships have you won in the past?
Oh, okay. I've won partial ones.
Okay.
But this is the full scholarship that I've won, a full scholarship.
Wow.
But previously it was partial, but this one is a full scholarship. But I've been working on previous ones. Sometimes you feel rejected, but sometimes too, it doesn't go well as you want.
So basically, all of the rejections in the past
and
all of the partial scholarships prepared you to get this one.
Yes.
Okay. But you know that the people that are applying for the SI scholarship this year don't have the time. So we're just going to go into it. What are the tips that you can share, when they're applying for the SI scholarship, when it opens on February, when it opens on February 10th, what are the things that they can do, that can just give them an edge based on your own experience as an SI scholar?
Okay, so getting a scholarship is not an easy way to go.
Okay.
It's very difficult. So you need to prepare ahead of time. So what I will say is that, one, you need to gather all your documents. So you need all your your transcripts. So in Africa, it takes a long time for you to get transcripts. So you need to apply ahead of time to get your transcripts, your certificates, your proficiency letter. Then you must also learn how to write SOP, statement of purpose, or motivation letter, or whatever they call it. Yes. Yeah. You need to practice how to write it, or get in touch with somebody who has written some before. Look at the sample and try to practice it, because if you don't know how to write it, it becomes a headache for you. So you need to write statement of purpose. You need to get your CV, prepare your CV down.
What are the things that, how can they go? Is the CV a normal kind of CV, or is there a special way to prepare your CV for the SI scholarship?
Yes, the SI has a template for preparing a CV. Okay. Most of the document you need, they have a template for it. So you just look at the template. You go to their website, you download the template, then you look at the template, then you'll be able to look at what they demand from you, then you model it in that order. Okay. So yours is to go to the website, download the template from the portal, then you try to see what they demand from you, then you go by it, or you can get assistance from somebody who has done some before or won some before. The person will guide you as to how to go about it. So you need a lot of guidance. That's what I would say, especially from somebody who has won some before. If you get in touch with somebody who won SI before, then you will be able to look at what he has done. Then you also go by it. Then the person can help you to edit it and help you to make a very good application.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask, as you were talking, I was thinking, do you think there's anything specific that the SI officials are looking for? Because as you're talking now, I also applied for the SI scholarship. Unfortunately, I did not get it. Fortunately for me, I got the school scholarship, but I'm thinking that maybe there was something I could have done, So is there something based on your experience that SI scholars, applicants who are looking to apply, is there something they could do that would give them an edge over the next person?
Yes, most definitely, there are a lot of things that you need to do.
Okay.
One is paying attention to details.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be detail-oriented person. Pay attention to details. Whatever they ask you to do, you have to do it.
Okay.
2, the stamping. They ask you to stamp some of the documents.
Yeah, true.
You need to get a very good stamp.
Okay.
In most African countries or in Ghana, they can use one stamp for ages and they will not change it.
Yeah.
So when they stamp it, you will not be able to read what is there.
Okay.
So the stamp has to be clear enough. So sometimes what I did was that my supervisor did not have a good stamp. So I have to go and do a new stamp for him and pay. Yes. So because he said he cannot afford to do it. So I said, okay, what he has done is not good enough. So let me do it for you. So he agreed and I paid for it, and they did a new stamp before we use it on my application several times. So we stamped the first one, it wasn't good. The second one, it wasn't good. So I have to spend money to do new stamp so that it will be clear enough for them to see. So that is one aspect. The stamping and the signature is also very important. Then again, we need to pay attention to details. In writing the reference letters, you need to, 1, write it yourself. For instance, if you give it to your supervisor to write it for you, he may not know. He cannot go to the SI website and read all the requirements. So you have to do that work. You go read and write it and give it to him for him to edit. So in that domain, you will be able to do a little adjustment. And you know what you want.
Exactly.
So you are putting it there for him to just read and sign. But if you give it to him, he will write 2 or 3 sentences, and SI may not like it. So that is one of the tricks that I prefer, that you write your own reference letter and give it to supervisor. And the reference letters must match.
Okay.
1, the one you write for your supervisor and your CV and must match, because whatever is in the CV must appear in the reference.
Oh.
Yes.
So whatever is in the CV must also be in the reference.
Yes.
And must also be in maybe your motivation letter.
Yes.
They must not be different.
No, they must not be different.
This is very, very important.
Yes, they must not be different. So these are some of the tricks. So if, for instance, you said you are maybe a supervisor somewhere, then in the reference letter, you have to say in the reference letter that, okay, yes, it's true that I was a supervisor, and the supervisor has to confirm that, okay, this person was performing this duty under my care. So it goes to confirm from the CV that truly you were a supervisor somewhere.
Okay.
So this is some of the alignment that it has to go through. So if it doesn't flow, then it means that no, one person is saying this, another person is saying this, and there's no truth in it. So it has to align.
I think for me, as you're talking, I'm thinking about when I applied, and I'm not sure there was a lot of alignment in my application, because my CEO at work actually filled my reference. It was one of my reference, and I think there was also the proof of work thing.
Yes.
So the proof of work thing must also align with everything.
Yes, must also align with everything. Because the proof of work is the same supervisor who will sign the proof of work and also sign your reference letter for you.
They must be the same person?
Yes.
They cannot be different?
No, it can't be different. It has to be the same person. It's only different when you work you work at 2 places or more than 2 places. But if it is the same organization, for instance, I was teaching. So my supervisor, I was teaching at one at the college of University College, which was a distance education, and I was also a head of a school at that time, a head teacher at that time. So my supervisor filled one for me, and I wrote it for him. So when I gave it to him to read, he just did some editing and he endorsed it. Then the other one is outside the domain of my profession. So that one I sent it to him. He also signed and also stamp it.
Okay.
So that alignment has to be there,
Mm-hmm.
so that they know that truly what you are saying is in fact the truth.
So I wanted to ask, when it comes to scholarship, a lot of people, when they write their motivational letters, a lot of people like writing sob stories. Oh, I'm poor. Oh, I'm this. Do you think the people in charge of vetting this information are looking for sob stories or authentic stories?
Okay, so for instance, for the SI, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
In the sense that they have given you specific things to write under.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about, I think, 3 categories. So you have to go by that. So the first one, they'll ask you, they'll ask your supervisor, or they'll ask your supervisor, what do you think about this candidate? So what your supervisor will say, it must have a reflection on what you also say in your motivation. So that reflection must be there. Okay, supervisor says that, okay, this person is good at doing this and this. You must also be able to depict in the, what do you call it? The motivation that truly it is because of A, B, C that has motivated me to do this.
Okay.
So it is going to reflect, or it's going to confirm from the supervisor that what you are saying, your motivation, is what the supervisor is also saying.
Okay.
So you see that there should be that type of alignment as it goes on. That's what they'll be looking at. So as they are reading, they feel, okay, this person has mentioned this here. The same person has been confirmed. This thing has confirmed here. This has been confirmed here. So it's true.
It's like a chain of events.
Yes.
And then when they go through it, everything is happening at every point in time.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. For me, like, this is very, very insightful, because when I applied, I did not know about all of this. And I feel like if you're watching this video, this is definitely an information that you are definitely going to need, because if you've downloaded the forms in November and you started working on it right now, you can still go back and make sure that whatever it is that you are feeling or on each of these forms, they all align. This scholarship is like the biggest scholarship in Sweden, and if you get it, you don't have to worry about any other thing. So in closing, basically this is just about the SI. In closing, what would you think that applicants should do after downloading the forms, after filling it, before going to the SI portal on February 10th? What are some specific things that they should look out for? So now they fill the form, they make sure that all of the things that they are writing, all of these forms are aligned, they are creating a chain of events, everything is tallying. Is there anything that they should still do before they now, go to the portal to apply and any other thing?
Yes, so when you finish all this process, you need to take your time, go over and read. You can use some softwares to edit. Editing is very important, because sometimes when you write, you may not be able to see some of the mistakes you do, or you give it somebody to read for you and correct it for you. So it's very important.
Yeah.
So you put it down for some time, then, or you use some of the software like maybe Grammarly or something to edit your work. Okay. Very, very important, so that your work will be perfect, because you are going to compete with 90,000 people. Our time it was 9,600 something people that applied, and only 350 people got it. Wow. So it's very competitive. So you need to make sure that your work stands out. You have to make sure that there's no grammatical error in your work. So that is one. Then paying attention to details is very important. And your passport, one of the secrets is also about the passport. Okay. You see, when you have a passport that is going to expire within 2 years, they will not give you the scholarship. Yes.
Did you guys hear that?
Because
okay.
Because they feel that when you come, maybe 1 year after, maybe on your passport is going to expire 2 years to come. Okay. But before they'll give you the scholarship, 1 year is already gone. So you're left with only 1 year.
1 year.
So when you come to Sweden and something happens and they need to send you back or something, it will be difficult. So they will not consider your application. So when I was going to do my passport was left with 2 years. But I already applied for a new one, and now Ghana, you can get 10 years. Our passport now is 10 years, lasts for 10 years. Okay. So I applied for a new one. So I had a new passport that lasted for 10 years. Wow. So in that order, they know that, okay, so if something happens, so that's one of the tricks. So if you have a passport that is going to expire 2 or 1 year, it's better you go and renew it and get a fresh one that will last for maybe 5 years or something. In that way, they know that if something happens, they will be able to. So it's also another trick that you need to get.
Yeah. So if you've been paying attention to the video so far, we've been talking about, how to, things that you should do basically when applying for your SI scholarship. And so far, we've been talking about tips. And I just want to ask another question, basically, again, before we round up. When the portal opens and they're filling, because there are still some things they will do when the portal opens, is there anything that should still correlate with what they filled on their documents when applying on the SI portal?
Oh, there's nothing. The only thing that you do on the portal is your motivation that you fill in. But that one, you have to write it down already.
Okay.
So the only thing you need to do is to copy and just paste it there. So when you do your corrections and everything, you are sure of what you have done. Then you go ahead to just copy and paste it there. That is all. So the work has to be done earlier. Do it down. Take your time, read through, and when the time comes, maybe one night. Africa, I think we have a lot of internet problems, so you have to wait maybe in the night where everybody's asleep, maybe from 11 to maybe 1 o'clock where the internet is free. Then you go ahead to upload all your documents and you can send them.
I was actually going to talk about that. I feel like for me, what actually also helped me to get the Atlas scholarship, I don't know, apart from the God factor anyway, was that I applied early, and I think that's very, very important. Once the portal opens on February 10th, don't wait till the end, because the website usually crashes.
Yes.
Like the portal usually crashes because towards the tail end of when the application is going to close, there's a lot of traffic on the site and it usually crashes. So if there's any tip I'm going to leave you with today, it's going to be the fact that once you've gotten all your documents and they've been filled and signed and stamped by all the necessary people, once the portal opens on February 10th, then go ahead and submit immediately. At the end of this video, I'm going to put in an image just to show the important date you should take note of throughout the course of this application. Once the scholarship closes, that's the end of it, and then you have to wait till like April for all of the good news. Hopefully you guys get it. It's been so much fun talking with Aaron. A lot of work actually went into having this interview, a lot of logistics. Oh, where are you? When is this going to happen? And I'm so glad it has happened. I hope when you guys watch this video, you guys learn one or two things, and I hope that whatever you take from this video, you can apply to your application. I hope to hear your good news. See you guys next time. Bye. Thank you.